Why did the foul-mouthed Deadpool and Wolverine make over $1 billion, yet Captain America Brave New World flopped? It's simple. Deadpool is much less of a hero than Captain America.
Fuck off!
Make no mistake, Deadpool is an incredible character, but he's not a traditional superhero. He's something audiences are way more into these days. An anti-hero. And that is the difference between a billion-dollar success and a box office disaster. Welcome to Heroscope. The main issue in superhero movies nowadays is that most characters simply seem too two-dimensional. While classic superheroes like Superman and Captain America are super cool and represent an ideal version of humanity, anti-heroes just feel more real. They're flawed, they make bad decisions, and they sometimes struggle with doing the right thing, just like real people. Characters like Deadpool, Venom, and Moon Knight aren't perfect, and that makes them more relatable and engaging to modern audiences simply because they are much more complex characters. Many characters that were once considered villains are now a lot closer to anti-heroes, and the audiences are all for it. Take a look at someone like Thanos. In the comics, Thanos was a ruthless beast that would do everything, even destroy half the universe, only to impress Lady Death. When he was first fully shown on the big screen in Guardians of the Galaxy, it seemed like he was heading in the same direction in his MCU iteration as well. However, in Infinity War, Thanos was practically completely turned into an anti-hero, with a large portion of the audience actually rooting for him and his selfless ideals and reasons for sacrificing half of the universe so that the other half could live. This made Thanos a much more compelling and complex character, instead of a one-dimensional villain that was evil and simply for the sake of it or his own selfish goals. This, of course, isn't the only case of a villain being turned into an anti-hero, with Loki and Venom being some more examples. And, let's be honest, anti-heroes simply feel more realistic. The audiences have quickly grown tired of seeing idealized versions of characters, and, as life itself isn't black and white, they want to see more gray characters on screen. Characters that are good-hearted, but sometimes struggle with deciding what choice they should be making, make for an interesting watch, as opposed to characters which somehow always seem to know what to do and how and when to do the right thing. Why? Because people in the real world constantly go through a wide variety of struggles, and seeing a protagonist go through similar struggles simply makes them more relatable. Many people see this type of black and whiteness in superhero movies and simply consider them childish. This is another aspect in which anti-heroes completely shake up the superhero genre. They mostly apply to a more mature audience, giving their characters an added seriousness compared to the likes of regular superheroes. So, instead of getting a traditional superhero movie that almost always has a pretty straightforward plot with anti-heroes, be it the Punisher and his brutal violence or Deadpool and his R-rated humor, the audiences get a much more nuanced, grittier, and darker story. Part of this darkness is the fact that anti-heroes constantly challenge what it means to be a hero. Why? Because anti-heroes can do what superheroes can't. More often than not, they're willing to do anything to get the job done, and this brings another question to the table that adds another layer to their characters that the audience can enjoy, which is, what does it actually mean to be a hero? Is it doing good things, having good intentions, or is being better than the villain enough? Questions like this are what makes anti-heroes even more interesting, and the audience starts asking themselves the very same questions as they are watching. Also, given the fact that they often don't hold back, the fight scenes are much more visceral, and the anti-heroes feel much more powerful. In fact, the easiest way to put it is, anti-heroes are just really fun to watch. Oftentimes, they break rules, crack dark jokes, and do things audiences aren't used to seeing from regular superheroes. Take Deadpool as an example. Which superhero could you imagine turning a man into a chimichanga, and then using his remaining bullet to unalive 3 people at the same time? These types of scenes keep the audiences glued to the screens, and they still get talked about for years and years. However, the most impactful part of anti-heroes often isn't their cool fight scenes or skewed moral perceptions. It's the fact that they have so much room to grow. Look at it this way. Characters like Superman, every time he is on screen, you know he is going to be making the right choices and trying to do the right thing 99% of the time. Whereas, part of the fun and appeal of anti-heroes is the fact that you get to witness them learn how to be good. For example, when Loki first had an important role as the big bad in the Avengers, audiences were practically rooting for his demise. Fast forward to 13 years later, Loki is one of the most crucial MCU characters that people are rooting hard for to be in Avengers Doomsday. And, in today's chaotic day and age, people could really use seeing characters that start off struggling with doing the right thing, only to end up finally finding their way and true place in the universe. Much like Loki becomes the one who remains, and Nebula learns to truly be good and love and protect her new family, The audience can too see that they can, despite their struggles, work towards and one day become the best version of themselves. So, what do you think? Let us know in the comments. And if you want to see the reasons why Batman is the most legendary superhero of all time, check out our latest video. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to Heroscope, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more deep dives into your favorite characters. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.